the season is proudly presented by Muddy, serious gear for serious hunters.
On this episode, we're going to chase turkeys right here in the state of Wisconsin.
And our team loves chasing turkeys.
We do. And this week it'll be a lot of fun because we've got team member Kyle. He'll be taking his son out. We're going to get team member Tyler involved in it. I'll be hunting myself. So it should be a good time.
Yeah, and what I really love about this is Kyle taking Landon out because one thing about Own the Season and our team is we really like getting the kids out and the youth involved in our hunting tradition.
Yeah, so stay tuned and check this one out. It's day 2 of my turkey season. Yesterday didn't go as planned. We'd been seeing birds here for a couple weeks, right away in the morning, and yesterday they were here, but they were henned up, and went to a different spot yesterday afternoon. That definitely didn't pan out, and so we snuck back in here this morning, and birds aren't even close. They weren't roosted close, and it sounded like 2 of the birds that we had roosted not far yesterday were roosted farther to our west this morning, and we just heard one of the neighbors shoot over there. So that bird, and then they quit gobbling. So obviously he shot one of those birds. So now I guess it's just a sit-wait game and see if we can't get something fired up after that neighbor gets his bird and gets out of here and gets done celebrating and whatever he's doing, or she, and I don't know, see if we can get another bird fired up, and we're just gonna have to wait and stick it out and see what happens, I guess.
Own the Season is brought to you by Walker's Spearmint Protection, Cold Steel Knives, Wild Game Innovations, Hawk, Hunter Specialties, Tenzin, Ameristep, Cyclops Lights, new archery products, and Scent Slammer.
Wow, did that happen fast? I thought that bird was going to walk away. He came in super quiet. I got one gobbling up here on the hill. And I thought, man, we're trying to get this bird, and all of a sudden, it's been a couple really early mornings, and Shell was kind of taking a nap over here, and I had to wake her up. And so it took a minute to get everything organized, and then I thought he was going to go past us. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this bird just started walking. I made a few soft calls, and he turned around, and he didn't even like the hen. He came in, beat her up, and then he cranked on that Jake, and 20 yards, man, that Spitfire, it put him down like right now. So we're gonna get out of here, and that's pretty exciting quick morning. We're going to get out of here and go check that bird out. And then I'm going to go have a little bit of breakfast and some coffee to wake up myself. So, yes. Patience paid off this morning. It was a little different morning. These birds weren't roosted where I thought they were going to be. So we had to sit back, relax, and hope for a little bit. Finally, these birds, they lit up again. And except for this one, he came in quiet. Kind of surprised us, but we still had one goblin over there, and he came in, and like I said, he came in silent, and then all of a sudden he just turned and didn't like that decoy setup, and it was kind of a cool show there for a second, and then put the shot on him, and it was weird because he stood there for a second. Oh, wow, did I miss him or what'd I do? Because it sounded good, looked good, and then he just kind of folded up and nose planted. So just a beautiful bird. He's got an absolute gorgeous fan on him. Nice beard, probably 1-inch spurs. So beautiful eastern turkey here in Wisconsin. And so now we are going to get this boy tagged up. We're going to head into town, get a little bit of coffee, go home, clean this thing up, and then maybe change a blind or two this afternoon for Michelle's season next week. A couple things that really put this hunt, made this thing together is one, like I said, patience. Is having some patience, but our decoy sets this year were a little bit later in the season, and so as our season started later, 1 week later this year, so we're kind of getting through that dominance just real close to that jealousy phase. So what I did is, instead of separating the Jake and the hen decoy, is I took that Jake decoy and I put that just a little bit closer, almost like he's wanting to try to mount that hen, and then I put the feeder off to the side, look for comfortability. And as you saw, as this bird, they're coming from that dominance jealousy factor, he came in, he didn't like that Jake sitting there. And so he came in, beat that up, and get that away from that Jake. He actually went by and hammered the hen first. I don't know if he was jealous of her, telling her to get away from him or what. But, so look at how you're setting up these decoys throughout the seasons, and how your weeks lay early in the year to middle of the year, and then at the end of the year. And right now, because you're going from that first to second, get that Jake in there a little bit closer, and using this tactic will hopefully help you own your season.
That's how you do it right there. Go 20 gauge talk again.
Well, guys, that's a wrap. This morning, birds weren't real talkative. We had a tom towards the highway that was gobbling. He gobbled once. We had a couple toms far away to the south of us. This guy didn't gobble off the roost at all. I think he roosted right on the hillside down here, just below us to the west of us. And they came out into the field. The hen came across the fence first. I was putting my mask up, and I thought she busted me. She picked her head up right away, and I thought it was done and over with there. I thought I was pinned. But I seen his fan coming, come under the fence, and put his fan down, and he comes straight into the decoy. Head went from bright white to bright red right now. And he got into the decoys, and as you can see, he wasn't having the decoys. There's a group of 5 jakes out here, and they've definitely been running these toms all over. They stay in their little group and run the toms off, and then the hens are theirs. So got into like 35 yards, 32 yards, something like that.
Landon, get ready. Landon, get on his head. No. Landon, get ready. Shoot. Get on his head and shoot him, Landon. Nice job, Landon. It's the Wisconsin youth season, the first day. It is 7:16. It was dead quiet this morning, and this bird came out in the field and was gobbling his head off. And we had a hen come by earlier, and never heard a gobble or anything even close to us. And this bird I noticed out in the field after the hen went by. She came right into the decoys, and I never would have thought he would have came in, but called in all 3 hens, and sure enough, he seen that HS strut, half strut Jake, and he came on a sprint right to us, and Landon made a perfect shot.
Nice job.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
That's fun.
Glasses fogged up and everything.
Yeah.
Well, here we are with Landon's first turkey. Like I said, it's the Wisconsin opening day for the youth hunt. I believe it's April 17th. And I had spotted these birds yesterday morning out in this field where they ended up coming from. But there was 2 toms yesterday morning. This morning there was only 1. And he had 3 hens with him. And we had a hen come from behind us here, come right up to the HS decoys, and then go out into this field. When we noticed this tom, he was on a mission to get to where them hens were. And I kept calling with the HS strut slate call and the sweet Susie, and I got 2 hens to respond, and I got them to cross into our food plot, into this side of the fence. And they ended up bringing him with, and as soon as he seen that half strut Jake decoy, he put his fan down and full out sprinted and attacked the decoy, as you can see in the video. But like I said, this is Landon's first bird, and it is a dandy. I know he's pretty excited. What do you think? You think you're hooked?
Yep. Yeah.
On the Season is brought to you by Skull Hooker, Hunting Made Easy, True Glow, Birchwood Casey, Avian X, Vortex Optics, Eastern Archery, Arctic Shield, and these fine sponsors.
is down right there. Unreal. We chased this bird yesterday, and he flew down in this field and completely headed the opposite way. So we moved the blind down, probably 75 yards closer to where they were roosting yesterday morning, and he was probably 70 yards behind us. And we had a hen come out in this field in front of us. We're not sure where she was roosting, but he flew down and came out into the field and ran right to the avian X breeding hen decoy, and me or my brother had a shot. I mean, he was right behind the fan of the tom decoy, and he just sat there on top of that hen, and finally he attacked the decoy and gave me a shot. But it is 6:09, and it's the Wisconsin second season. Bird down.
Here's some tips that are really going to help you as far as broadheads are concerned when it comes to turkey hunting. There's a lot of different broadheads out there. New Archery Products has the Spitfire Max, which is an 1 3/4 cut. It's a great turkey head. And you get even bigger when you get into the kill zone with a 2 inch or 2 3/8 inch cut. The bigger the cut, the better. If you're a young hunter just coming up, you might want to shoot something that's got a fixed head, something like the Hellraiser. However, we also make a head called the Gobbler Getter. Any type of expandable, once you get into that 50 to 55 pounds and up, I recommend using any type of expandable for turkeys. The reason is, when this opens up, what kinetic energy that does use, which isn't as much as people think it is. However, what they're using for kinetic energy in this and opening this slows that arrow down enough through those feathers, wing bones, and through that dead breast area if that's where they hit, going through one way or coming the other, because there's not a lot of mass to that bird, so it absorbs a ton of energy. With that, you want to try to leave as much of this arrow in it in case the shot isn't exactly where you want it. That bird tries to run off somewhere, he has the arrow in, he's not going to be able to take flight. If that bird takes flight, you no longer have a blood trail to follow, and he might pile up in flight, end up down somewhere over a hill where you didn't see where he went, and you're going to lose that bird. Now that we've talked about broadheads, let's talk about placement when you're trying to shoot that bird, whether it's in full strut or if it's walking. First, this broadhead here that I'm going to demonstrate with, this is the Gobbler Getter. It's got a dull tip on it. This is blunt. The reason this tip is blunt is to decrease that penetration. And like I said, if you can keep that arrow in that bird, that's better. If he tries to take flight, he's not going to be able to because of that arrow. He's going to have to stay grounded. So if you put a marginal shot on it, let it go lay down, you will have a blood trail just like you do with a deer. Give it some time and go track it down. If the shot is good, that bird's going to be down within 10 yards and you'll be able to go get him right away. So with that said, let's look at shot placement on these turkeys. First, try not to shoot them in the head unless you're shooting a broadhead designed specifically for that. But any other type of expandable, they're large enough, they're big enough that they're going to do the damage they need to by shooting them in the body. So where do you want to do that? When you're looking at this wing with this triangle up front, the problem is most people try to put it here in this pocket. They're too far forward. There's nothing but breast there. You want to back off that a couple inches center body or right over the top of those legs. That's where you're looking to put this broadhead, approximately right here. With that shot, that bird's going to go down real quick. If he's facing you, try to put it right at the tip of that beard, or the base of the beard where it goes in, or left or right of that, just by an inch or two. That shot is also going to be deadly very quick. On the backside, when this bird is strutting away from you, when he's in full strut, he gives you a really pretty little bullseye, and that's what you want. That Texas hard shot, put it there, you're going to be going home with a turkey this spring. Otherwise, this bird, if he goes in to the walking mode and he comes out of strut, when he's standing there, follow those legs up, center body, and you're going to have yourself turkey. If he's facing away, put it right center body through the middle. You're going to break his back. You're going to take out his lungs, something there. You're going to put that bird down quick and humane.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Stealth Cam, the leader in trail camera technology.